just me and my guitar.
Hey, what's happening guys? Mark back here in the shed on Mark's Aquatics. Today we're going to be talking about biozyme, okay? And this is what I use in my shrimp tanks every other day. And I use Genchem Polytase every couple of days. Okay, hello mate. My little mate's turned up. Oh, I thought you were sleeping. Come on in, go and have a play on the bench. That's little Lemon, he's woken up from his sleep. Now he's going to wreck the joint. As you can see, we've been busy in the shed and we've been making lots of things that that he can play with. He loves the little bubblers there with the fish in, and the sign that I've made for the Mark's Aquatics sign there, which we've got in the other bubbler at the other side there. Just a bit of fun, something to look at. He likes it. Now what are you going to do? Don't go and jump in that pond. You're going to, aren't you? Lemon. Wait, come on. Oh, you go in there, boy. Come on out. You're going to fall. You go. That was close. Oh, that was close, my little lad. You nearly went for a swim then, didn't you? You nearly went for a swim. And these lovely folks would have laughed their heads off if you'd have gone in there. That would have been one for a funny cat YouTube video, that's for sure. Right then, what we're going to talk about is this biozyme. I think what we can talk about first, bacteria in your aquarium grow very, very slowly. Well, most types of them do. And these are what produce your biofilm, okay, in your tanks that your shrimp like to eat. And it's like a gel, it's sort of a funny substance that just secretes all over the place and grows all on the media, on the old leaves, everything else which your shrimp eat. Now, what happens is your shrimp will normally feed quicker, they'll eat it quicker than it can produce itself. So what we've got to do is we've got to give it a helping hand, and by adding this stuff here. And your dose rates are going to, I mean, it says on the front of the packet here, if you can read it there, sorry about the glare, but it's got for an adult feed 3/4 of a spoon daily at night for 100 litres, and for baby food it's half a spoonful twice a day in 100 litres of water. Personally, I wouldn't use that much. I'd half that. I normally half that, and I find that's enough to keep all my shrimp nice and healthy. Obviously companies want you to use product up, so you buy more, so don't go over the top, because then you're going to pollute the water, and you don't want to be polluting your water and bringing your nitrates up, and which is not going to be good for your shrimp, okay? Now this stuff actually, it promotes the biofilm, okay? It's not an actual, there's no bacteria in it as such. All it is starch, cellulose and enzymes which they put in there, which are utilised by the bacteria to form the biofilm, okay? That's how it works. And then the shrimp eat that, and it's basically a food source for them, and the bacteria is enough for the food, and it's small enough, this stuff is small enough, particularly small enough for the baby shrimp to eat as well, okay? So it's a good double-edged sword, so they can eat the cellulose and the other ingredients that they put in there as well. It's good for a baby food, just like the Genchem Polytase is. That's good for your baby food as well. That's because it's very, very fine micron in it, the way it's been powdered up, so it's very, very small, so even the tiniest of shrimplets can feed on it, and that's how they get their good little kickstart in life. That's why a lot of people lose shrimp earlier on, because they're not getting that nutrition that they need, because the biofilm's been eaten up by the bigger shrimp, and there's not a lot for them to eat, you see, so because they're on a small scale. So by putting in the Genchem Polytase, I've got some here, putting in the Genchem Polytase as well as the biozyme, not at the same time though guys, alright, never put it in at the same time. Yes guys, what I was going to say with these biozymes, what's the name of it now, I can't remember now, I think it's Bacter AE, I've used that before. You've got to be quite careful, alright, because in a poorly oxygenated tank I'll just swing around here to the tank that we're building and coming on. Now you've got the oxidator down there, okay, so we've got really good oxygenation throughout this tank. We've got a good fall of water coming down, which is obviously creating the oxygen is coming down. That's neat oxygen being produced there. You can see it bubbling away, and that will keep that tank lovely and oxygenated, okay, and that's what you want, is good oxygenation for your shrimp and your plants and everything else, to keep a healthy system, okay. Now with these, the Bacter AE and biozyme and stuff, now if you accidentally overdose on this stuff and you put in too much and you've got a poorly oxygenated tank, then it's going to strip the oxygen out the water, and the way it does that is the bacteria that you've just put in from the Bacter AE, the bacteria will colonize so quickly, and it needs oxygen to do that because it's aerobic bacteria. It will use up all the oxygen in your tank, which won't leave much for your shrimp, and you're going to lose some of your shrimps that way. But that's only if you overdose on it, okay. If you've got a well oxygenated tank and you're going by the recommendations of what the companies tell you, and you're careful on your mixing, nothing should happen whatsoever. That's just worst case scenario, that is, guys, okay. You don't want to be under oxygenating your tank and putting this stuff in, because everything that grows needs oxygen to grow, as we know. So that's how I use this stuff. And I've just had to put the cat, I just put little Lemon out because he was being a monkey in here, and he tried to get in my mini pond. He was nearly in there. He was just teetering on the edge. I thought he was going to jump, and I'm stood behind my tripod, and I thought, well, by the time I get there, he's either going to be in it or he's going to change his mind. And thankfully, touch wood, he changed his mind. We don't want him going face down in there, because then he'd wreck the joint. But it would have been quite funny though. Yeah, just made up these over the weekend. We had that one, little Johnny, who I've still not seen a video from yet, Johnny. But not to worry, mate, if you've changed your mind, there's no worries at all. It was nice of you to send me that. That's why we made you that little porthole there, just to remind the folks of what you've done, which is really nice. We got the new towels on the bench as well, and we got the 2 half balls there now, which we put some nice backings on. A Marks Aquatics one, and the old crazy perch there with all the hooks and line coming out of his mouth. I've always liked that picture. And we've got a few pictures of different shrimp kicking around the place now as well, to try and brighten it up a little bit, so you can have a look at stuff rather than listening to me waffle on about different things. Yeah, so basically, guys, with the old biozyme and the Bacter AE and these things, they promote your bacteria growth. They feed the bacteria which is in there, which in turn then creates more biofilm, speeds that process up, which then provides more food for your shrimp to eat. That's the way it works. Add it once a week, you can add it twice a week. Your regime's up to you with your system, how you've planted it or how you've done it. All tanks are going to work differently. There's no hard and set rule on how much to use, but I don't use as much as the manufacturer suggests. I use half of that amount, and I still tend to get really good results with that. So that's the way I go. And like I was saying, I use the Gen Chem on a Monday, and then on a Wednesday then I'll use the biozyme. It's basically, that's what it does in a nutshell, layman terms, without getting scientific and too deep into things. That's what it does. It produces more biofilm for your shrimps to eat, and that's it really. That's what it does. And I made this nice little squirty bottle up. I was just saying about these, we did this one a while ago with the thermoplastic straws. It's nice because you can hold it up and just squirt it in that way. You can give it a good old shake up, and you can hang it on the side of your tank. That's what I intend to do. Just hang it on the side of the tank when I'm not using it, or hang it up on one of the hooks in the shrimp room. But they're very easy to make. I know you can just get a water bottle, but you're a little bit more precise. I like to pump a little bit of it over the top of the moss, so it gives them something to do, to race in and out of it and to find the stuff. And you can also put it by your pumps as well. Just squirt it on the top of your pumps. You know me, I just like to build stuff. But anyway, as you can see, we'll leave that the biozyme there, I've got some shrimps that I'm acclimating. We've taken all the yellow sakuras out now from the aquascape in the living room. I did put in probably around 300, I would say, yesterday, and I've got the last few out today. Now I did film it, but when you film with the phone, I only film on my phone, and when you tip the thing forwards, it tends to revert it to upright filming, so you get the black bars either side and the strip down the middle. Now I can't stand that, so I chucked that footage out. But you can look at some of the other videos I've done if you want to see the amount of sakuras I put in there in the first place. Well, it's more than that has gone back in now, because they were breeding in there. But like I said, they weren't breeding as well. Not sure why. Conditions were good in there for them, they were stable in there for them, but they were breeding better in the shrimp room. So I'm going to do something else with the aquascape. I'm not sure. I might put a load of tetras in there, big bunch of cardinals or something like that to look nice swimming around in there, and I think we'll go along those lines. But what we're going to do is we're going to take them in. They're in the shrimp room now. I've got the dripper going, so we're going to drip them in over the next few hours, and then we'll get them in, and then we can have a look at those as well. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a bit, and we'll check those out when they're going in, and I'll get back to you then, okay? Okay guys, what we got here is the last of the sakuras out of the aquascape in the living room. I've just got our little acclimator there, which we made up on one of the other videos. If you haven't seen that one, pop back and have a look. Quite an interesting little build you can make out of these little straws. Go and follow it along. Simple to make. You can make whatever shapes you want with these thermoplastic straws, and they come in really handy for DIY builds. But we've gone all the way down to the sakuras, which are in here. That's the last of the babies there. We've got our TDS meter there, and we're just going to have a quick look through. I suppose there's about 20 to 30 in there, I suppose, that are left. So now if we just give the old pipe a little bit of a suck there, start dripping, there we go. I did have a nice little valve tip on the end of there, but it's gone missing. I can't find it anywhere. So that's nicely dripping away now. So we'll acclimate these guys for 2 or 3 hours, just leaving that dripping there really slowly, and then every time that fills up there, I'll just take some water out, put it back up at the top, and we'll get them acclimatized, and we'll pop these guys in a bit later on. Hello Frank. You playing with Frank? You've given up. Right, let's have a look at these yellow sakuras that we've been... Couple of kids having fun. Look. We've got the yellow sakuras now, and here's all the other guys up the top, all having a bit of a snack, as are the crystal blacks and the bolts and the King Kongs and all the other guys we've got creeping around in this system. No end of them in here now. But yes, nearly done. We'll check the TDS in a minute, and we'll see how we're going to the main tank, and when they equalise up, we'll bung them in. Okay guys, all the TDS now is all up to speed. We've got 146 in the tank and in the bowl, so now we're going to put that into Frank's tank there a minute, and we can tip these up and then slowly mix these little guys in. And if you look at that, the amount of droppings that's coming out of there, that's how much your shrimp's producing in your systems all the time. That's only been over a few hours, but it's quite a lot. Just have a quick double check in that bowl, swirl a bit around in there, make sure we've got everybody out. There was some quite small ones, and we're all in. Happy days. So we can take this little acclimatization device that we made, and I can hang that back up there on my hook, hang it the other way, and then whatever's in that pipe there is just going to drip back into the crystal side and empty it out slowly. But these are great little gadgets, guys, very easy to make. Thermoplastic straws, the little kids straws that you get at your party shops and all that kind of stuff, you know, the ones that are shaped in the figure of 8s or hearts or numbers or your name, all that kind of stuff. Go and watch a video. It's an interesting little build, and you can make yourself one of these, shrimp safe, nothing's going to get sucked into there, and it clips on your tank nice. You can hang it up like you can see there. We'll have a quick look at the little balls over here, the little ball systems full of endlers, and we've got all kinds of stuff in there. The glass needs a bit of a clean. Chuck a bit of food in there for them while we're at it. I only put a little pinch in, and a little pinch in that side as well. But those little endlers go bananas for that stuff. And whatever drifts off, I can't speak today, whatever drifts off to the bottom, the little cleaning crew there gets together and they clean it all up. There you go, guys, I just thought I'd give you a quick close up of that oxidator working. You can see the bubbles rising up on the inside, which is the catalyst releasing the oxygen from the hydrogen peroxide, and obviously that's forming pressure inside that little bubble at the top there, you can see. And as that pressure builds up, it pushes the hydrogen peroxide out down the base and then releases the little micro bubbles that you can see coming out. And it lasts for quite a long time. You'll find once your oxygen saturation gets to a certain point in the tank, they slow down. But that's working really well. That's our DIY one. Pop back and have a look at that if you want to make yourself one. Very simple to make. Just need a hot glue gun, a little lid, a little jar, and cut yourself either a flower pot or a spice jar. One that I made this out of, the bottom of a spice jar. We cut a bottom of a spice jar off and we use that. Now, anyway, guys, there's a little update on that, and the biozyme as well, on the Gen Chem. Little bit of information there to help you guys out if you need it. And if you look at the top there, I put a nice pothos plant in there as well, up the top here, which is starting to kick off. That goes underneath all the media, and that's going to grow lovely underneath that light, and roots will go in amongst that all that bio-home media that we've got underneath. It'll wrap around all in amongst that, and it will be absorbing all them nitrates as well as so we should have a super smooth filter running system there. And like I always say, guys, you're all stars. Love you loads. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the videos. Go back if you're new to the channel. Have a look through the old videos. There's loads of about 160 videos on there now in total, I think, of all different types of stuff. With the koi pond, obviously the builds in here, building the pond, building filter systems, all kinds of stuff. So go back and have a look at those if you're new to the channel. It might encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, guys, look after yourselves, be careful, be safe, and I'll see you on the next edition of Marks Aquatics. Bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.